So, warm welcome to all the participants of the spiritual retreat. How many of us are students who have already participated in a spiritual retreat earlier? So, around 10, 11, and 76 participants, out of which around 10 are from earlier spiritual retreats. So, there might be certain things that you have heard before, the participants from before. Yeah? But it's always good to repeat because then it gets more and more assimilated, better assimilated in your being. All right? And the new ones, we hope that you have a beautiful journey and you enjoy the spiritual retreat. Today's topic is the aim of spiritual retreat. Why do we do a spiritual retreat in Jaipuria school every year? Even during COVID times, the spiritual retreat, by God's grace, continued to happen, and we did it through Zoom. So this is what we've got as a gift from COVID, something good that has happened in COVID. We got a new means of being able to communicate with each other even when we are locked in our homes and at a distance from each other, right? So we did it through Zoom. So what we decided in the first spiritual retreat was that we should have a motto. Why this spiritual retreat? So I'll read out the two mottos that we have, and they're both the same actually, but they're said in different ways. And once I'll read out, and then we'll all read it together. Okay? And we'll be repeating it before every talk, every interaction. If you only do what you can do, you'll never be better than you are. Kung Fu Panda. Master Shifu said it. How many of you have seen Kung Fu Panda? Yes? And you've heard Master Shifu say this? What does it mean? Should we remain what we are? Or should we try to become better than we are? Yeah, we should come out of our comfort zone and become better than we are. So let's read it together. If you only do what you can do, you'll never be better than you are. Let's all read it together. Arise, transcend thyself, thou art man, and the whole nature of man is to become better than himself, become more than himself. Sri Aurobindo. Aim of spiritual retreat. So before I begin, I want to hear from you students, why have you joined the spiritual retreat? What is your aim? What do you want to gain out of this spiritual retreat?
Ma'am, my name is Nile Vishnu and I am from class 7E. I joined the spiritual retreat like we got the message in grade 6 during the end, and I was like, I want to do this. I am like having 2 hours or more than 2 hours of screen time at home. I want to like, in my mind just said, go do it spiritual retreat. You'll get inner peace. You get healthy from all that screen time. You'll get rid of that screen time, and you should be like, why are we watching this? Just for entertainment? Then you can play and have inner peace for entertainment. You can have good things for entertainment. That's why I wanted to do spiritual retreat, and my parents also sent me for that.
Beautiful. So you're already conscious
Yes, ma'am.
that you need to become better than yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to become more than yourself. So you're already aligned to the aim of the spiritual retreat. Beautiful.
Yes,
Thank you.
My name is Prakash Kapoor. I'm from class 7B. Joined the spiritual retreat so that I can be independent. I can learn the values, the skills of life. You can lead a good life. And ma'am, then to stay away from mobiles, the bad habits we do at home, to learn something good.
How beautiful is that? Beautiful, Prakash. Very, very beautiful.
Amritansh Pandey.
Yes, Amritansh.
I'm from class 7B.
Yes.
Ma'am, I joined spiritual retreat because, ma'am, I wanted to explore new things, ma'am. Like sitting in the home, going out, ma'am, going to the restaurants. Ma'am, I was bored of those all things. I wanted to do something new. And my parents also wanted to see me go outside and play, make new friends. I wanted to experience something new. That's why I have joined the spiritual retreat.
Beautiful.
My name is Priyamvada Singh, class 12E.
Yeah.
Ma'am, through this spiritual retreat, I wish to train my body, mind, and soul so that they can work harmoniously together and I can reach my fullest potential. Also, I wish to build a deeper connection with God, with the divine, and hopefully be His instrument.
So beautiful, Priyambada. This is really beautiful. You've been in part of earlier spiritual retreats.
Yes.
I remember you. Very beautiful. There's a whole lot of conscious students here.
Ma'am, my
Krish?
name is Aryavardhan Singh from class 8E. So, ma'am, actually, ma'am, when I left the Gita classes in 2019, ma'am, I wanted to join it again, but ma'am, my schedule didn't allow it. So, ma'am, I want to give myself 5 days of the year to improve myself, to polish myself, and become what I was in back in 2019. So that's why I'm here again to the spiritual retreat.
Very beautiful. You were always an aspirant. Class?
Arya Kapoor,
Arya.
8A. Ma'am, my purpose of joining spiritual retreat was that I can't focus in one thing, and sometimes I don't respect time, and I make a plan about time and then I just don't follow it, and I can't focus while I'm studying. In exams also this troubles me, so that's why I'm here.
My God. So you've been having this problem, even you had this problem even in last year's spiritual retreat. You spoke about it. And we spoke about ways how you can change it. Did you make an effort to change this habit?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you consistently make an effort and you consistently offer this problem to God, to the mother, to whoever you believe in, if you consistently offer, but making an offering and not making an effort will not work. Both have to be done side by side.
Ma'am, in this March I went to Rishikesh. A Rishi Muni told me I should do transcendental meditation. So I have started doing that every day, 20 minutes.
You're doing transcendental meditation.
Ma'am, he told me that you can take a mantra like you are calm now, you are relaxed, and just repeat it till there's no thoughts in your mind.
Okay, all right.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, my name is Manan Sainath of class 8B. When I was at home, ma'am, I used to always use devices like television, my phone, sometimes laptops and computers. Ma'am, and when I away from them, like if I was studying, I couldn't concentrate. I used to think about them only. They were like a black hole to me. They were just pulling me towards them. I couldn't concentrate on anything else. I just wanted my devices and just entertainment from them. Then I realized that it's really bad for me. It's getting worse. And when I was at school, I used to not able to concentrate on my studies. I didn't listen what my teacher said. So I thought it's a really big problem for me. That's why I thought that I should join spiritual retreat and make myself better and get to a next level to being spiritual.
Very beautiful, Manan. Very beautiful. I wish and hope and pray that your dream and your aim is actually fulfilled. Thank you.
Ma'am, my name is Adhyayan Tandon of class 7G. Ma'am, I had previously attended spiritual retreat online in the last year, and ma'am, I had gained a lot of knowledge and information about things like the divine being and our soul, karma, and all of these things had really changed me in a positive way. So, ma'am, I wanted to learn even more new things, so that's why I joined spiritual retreat again.
Excellent. Excellent. I hope and pray that your aim is also fulfilled.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Adhya Bansal, 7A. Ma'am, to do everything time to time. Ma'am, gain positivity. Ma'am, to be independent. And ma'am, if we even see scream, ma'am, we should see appropriate things.
Very nice.
Ma'am, my name is Ishta Tandon. I am of class 7C. I joined this spiritual retreat because I found out that I couldn't really focus after the pandemic. I could not really be calm during the exams or anywhere I was sitting. I was usually fiddling with things. That's why I have joined to make myself a better version of myself and to be closer to my inner self.
Excellent. Excellent.
Ma'am, my name is Vriddhi Mishra of class 7B.
Actually, I become very angry at many times in small cases. So I want to achieve calmness and peacefulness.
Very nice. You will achieve calmness and peacefulness for
Good
sure.
morning, ma'am. I'm Srijita Banerjee from class 7A. I joined the spiritual retreat so I can be a more better version of myself and an experienced version. This was an opportunity to be one, and opportunities they come once. So
Yeah,
that's my reason for joining
very
spiritual.
beautiful. So let's begin now, okay? Here, there's a whole bunch of students who are conscious, and that is why they've joined the spiritual retreat. They are conscious that they want to transform themselves. Each one of you have something in you that you want to transform, something that you want, some part on you wishes to grow into peace, grow into calm, grow into becoming a better version of yourself. So many things. And I don't know why the world keeps saying, Arey, these teenagers, they don't know anything about themselves. These are the terrible teens, the moody teens, the attention deficit teens. I don't think they are being fair. I really don't think they are being fair. All the problems of the world, if we look at them, if we look at the two world wars, were teenagers responsible for it? The Great Depression, were the teenagers responsible for it? COVID, were the teenagers responsible for it? No, na? In fact, had Hitler even bothered to talk to Anne Frank? How many of you have read Anne Frank's diary? Yeah. What a beautiful girl. Had Hitler even talked to Anne Frank, he would have probably not, of course, depends on how much he was conscious that he wanted to change himself. So, it isn't Gyan that I wish to share here with you all. You're already very responsible, very conscious, and very focused teenagers who have come here with a purpose. I wish to grow. I wish to become better than I am. I wish to become more than I am. I have no competition with outside. My competition is with my own present being. I want to become higher and higher and higher. You are here for self-perfection. You are here for self-growth. In the lingo of Jaipurians, you are here to learn the very science and technology of conscious transformation. So let us repeat this together. We are here to learn the very science and technology of conscious transformation. So we are talking about transformation, right? And all of us need to transform. But we need to know, what do we need to transform? We need to transform, I need to transform myself. But who am I? Nobody has really told me who I am. Has anybody heard of Ramana Maharishi? Anybody here? So Ramana Maharishi, when anybody would go to him, he would only ask them one question. First, go and find out who I am. Find out who you are. Right? And I wish this question was asked to me when I was in school. I wouldn't have wasted so many years in my life. I wish this question was asked to me when I was in college or when I got married a few years into my marriage. Nobody asked me, nobody told me. And I wasted a lot of years of my life. So I'm so feeling blessed, so blessed, that here there are 74 students who have come for self-transformation. And they want to do it consciously. They want to do conscious transformation of their being. So I think you definitely need to know who you really are. So today's interaction together is going to be, who am I? Who are you? Because before I was asked this question, till I reached Aurobindo, I didn't really think about it. I was Anjali, this physical being Anjali, and that was the end of the matter. Right? How many of you think that you are the name that you are? How many of you? Be honest. that ये है, this is me. How many of you? Only a few? The rest of you know who you are? The rest of you know fully who you are? Okay. So, later on I learned that there are several other dimensions. एक कविता सुना दूँ आप लोग को? What has happened? अंधेरों को अपने छिपा कर रखा है अपने से. अंधेरों को अपने छुपा कर रखा है अपने से. दिखते हैं तो चुभते हैं. दिखते हैं तो चुभते हैं. विवश करते हैं. जगाते हैं. नहीं सोने देते. रज और तम के अंधेरे. इसी अंधकार ने मुझसे छिपाया है. इसी अंधकार ने मुझसे छिपाया है. दर्पण में ही बस मुझसे मिलाया है. क्या जो हमें दर्पण में दिखता है, क्या वही हम हैं? कि हमारे कुछ और there are other parts of my being which are not visible to me in the darpan, but I should know about myself, the many aspects of my being. दर्पण में क्या दिखता है? बस वो बाह्य रूप. कहाँ है वो ज्योति? कहाँ है वो ज्योति जिसके प्रकाश में स्वयं से मिल सकूंगी जड़ चेतन आकाश में? We have to reach that point जहाँ हम अपने आप से लगे, हम अपने आप से ही मिल रहे हैं. जब हम प्रकर्ष से मिलें, जब हम आर्यन से मिलें, जब हम प्रोमिनी मैम से मिलें, तो ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए ये कोई और है, ये हम ही हैं. पर वो हम तब कर पाएंगे जब हम पहले स्वयं को समझेंगे कि हम कौन हैं. राइट? सो लेट अस गो ऑन अ ब्रीफ वॉयज into our own being and see from the outside as a witness who we essentially are. अपने अंदर हम जाएंगे और अपने आप के different aspects को देखेंगे. Right? Are you all ready? Have you ever thought about it? Who all have thought about it ever? Some children have thought about it. कि हम हैं कौन? Who am I? आज उसका आंसर मिलेगा. I am a physical being. अब this we can never question that I am a physical being, right? Because this is palpable. I can touch, I can see myself in the mirror. Visually, it cannot be challenged till we are alive. How consciously we are looking after the physical being, that we have to be careful about. If I am a physical being and I want to consciously transform myself, then I have to consciously look at all the parts of my physical being that need to be transformed, right? Now you're going to be given a self-assessment form so that you know this assessment is for yourself. How consciously are you educating and developing your own physical being? Hope all of you have the assessment sheet and a pen. All answers which say yes will score 1 point. And all answers which your being says no will score a 0. And all maybes, you can just mark them and go back to them later. Right? You can work on it later to assess yourself. And this assessment is for your own self. It does not have to be submitted to anybody. You have to assess yourself. Okay, are you ready? Everybody has the paper? Question number 1. Am I consciously working on the cleanliness and hygiene of my body? If you all, whoever feels that you're consciously working on the cleanliness and hygiene of your body, if you've played sports in the evening, are you having a shower after that? Are you brushing your teeth twice a day? Are you wearing clean, well-washed clothes? Are you looking after the hygiene of your body? If yes, take a 1. Question number 2. Do I have a daily schedule of 20 to 30 minutes for methodically developing each part of my physical body through athletics, sports, swimming, and other forms of exercise? Am I consciously looking after? Because see, there is a muscle mass, there are bones, there are so many parts of our body, each part desires, needs different kinds of athletics, different kinds of sports, different kinds of yoga. So, am I consciously looking after the physical health of every part of my physical body? Am I doing strength training according to my age? Am I doing yoga stretches? Am I doing it consciously? Am I looking after every part of my body consciously? Next question. Am I following a daily routine of 10-15 minutes of pranayam to take care of my lungs? Am I working on the health of my airways? Mark yourself, children. Next question. Am I conscious of the food that enters my physical system? It's not about eating pizzas or not eating pizzas, eating burgers or not eating burgers. It's about consciously balancing your diet. Are you consciously balancing your diet? If not, please write a no and work on it. If you consciously want to transform your being, am I getting a sufficient number of hours of sleep? Sleep is very, very, very important. And we must follow a circadian rhythm. Has anybody heard of the circadian rhythm? Anybody here? One person has heard about the circadian, two. So, yes, very good. Some of you have heard about it. You can find out later. So, circadian rhythm or CR is a 24-hour internal clock in our brain that regulates the cycles of alertness and sleepiness, and that responds to the light changes in our environment. Now, according to the Earth's rotation around its axis, the day and night happens, right? Now, what is the right time to sleep? What is the right time to sleep? 9, 10, even if you want, since you are teenagers, maybe 10:30. What is the right time to wake up? 5, 5:30, 6. But what is happening in today's teenagers? They are looking at their iPhones, at their iPads, seeing movies on the iPad till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, sleeping at weird time, getting up at weird times. Is that good for your body? It's not following the internal body clock, the circadian clock. And it is harming us. Right now we are young, we can take it. But this will show later on. That doesn't work. Right? So, next question is, am I consciously taking out time to let my hair down and relax? Relaxation is also plays a very important part in our physical development. Students, you must never undermine the value of a well-deserved relaxation. The next question is really important. Do I aspire for beauty? Not for the sake of winning admiration, but for the love of beauty itself. You know, the mother has spoken so much about beauty. The divine manifests himself in the psychic. Psychic is the soul, we'll be talking about it. And the divine manifests in the psychic as love, in the mind as knowledge, and in the vital as power. And how does the divine manifest himself in the physical? As beauty. If you discard beauty, it means that you are depriving the divine of this manifestation, his manifestation in the material. And when you discard the divine in the material, who is going to take his place? The asura will take his place. Everything around you should be beautiful. We have tried to do that in the school. Wherever you turn your eye, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Why have we done that? So you are able to see the divine manifestation in the physical. The physical also has to be beautiful, right? The words that I said just now were the words of the mother. Do I keep my study table, my clothes, and other stuff in an organized manner, or all my stuff is a mess? See, a lot depends on our intent. The intention with which we do something gives the direction to the result. Now look at your score. Make a note of the fields you intend to work on in the future. Our parents and most of the schools are working upon physical education and teaching us to respect good health, physical strength, balance, and all the above. So, all of us know that we are a physical being. How many of you knew that you are also an emotional, vital being? How many of you knew? Yes, I also have an emotional, vital being inside me. The vital part of our being is the powerhouse of our body. It is our vital which holds the energy, the enthusiasm, the dynamism of our being. But at the same time, the vital part of our being is despotic. You know what is a despot? Who is a despot? A tyrant, exacting tyrant. And the vital part of our being is where we breed dualities. Our feelings and emotions of love, hatred, happiness, joy, anger, ambition, greed, pride, compassion, care, all these dualities, all these emotions are bred in the vital part of our being. Right? And at this point, my dear students, I would like to tell you that if we wish to be successful in life, we must consciously educate our vital. Our vital being must be consciously educated. For all of us who have come here to learn, to transform ourselves, this is very important. What is it called? Like for the mental being, when you have a test, it's called IQ, right? Intelligence quotient. For the emotional being, it's called EQ, emotional quotient. Education of the vital being. This is our self-assessment. Question 1. Am I able to observe my reactions, impulses, and their causes? In other words, do I mostly consciously respond, or do I generally react to situations? Or do I consciously respond to situations? Think about it. Give yourself your marks, 1 or 0. Right? And this is your report card that you have given to yourself, and then start consciously working on it. Second question, am I able to witness desires, violence, pride, weakness, and depression in my being? Am I able to witness it? Give yourself a 1 if you are actually witnessing it and you consciously want to change it. Like Arya has been consciously wanting to change from 3 years. I know I get angry. I know I have no control and I want to change it. So he's conscious of it. How many of us are conscious of it? Right? Question number 3. Am I strengthening my willpower so that I may transform these defects and weed them out from their very roots? First of all, we must know that I have this problem in me. That is why in the breathing, what did I say? When you breathe out, you consciously breathe out. Let go of the negativities that you have. Then you need to strengthen your willpower. There will be occasions. In this spiritual retreat, you're going to interact with people, with each other, with friends, with teachers, with our bhaiyas and didis who are working for us. How do I react to them? Become conscious. In your schedule, what have we written? Eat with breakfast with consciousness, lunch with consciousness, dinner with consciousness, sleep with consciousness. What does it mean? What does it mean? That I am not just living in my physical being. I become conscious of my emotional being also, and then I do what I am doing. And how to become conscious? A very simple method that Sri Krishna has said in the Gita. Whatever you do, before you do that, you offer it to the divine. And abhi in the next few slides we'll come to know where the divine is. Because मंदिर जाना पड़ेगा डिवाइन को ऑफर करने, घर में पूजा में जाना पड़ेगा डिवाइन को ऑफर करने, मस्जिद में जाना पड़ेगा, ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. अभी we'll come to know कि where the divine is, right here within us. All we have to do is, we are going for our lunch and we just remember the divine and we offer the lunch. Say, आप आ जाना, आप उसमें से एक बाइट लेना, उसको प्रसाद बना देना. We are going for the next talk, we say, आपको ऑफर करती हूँ, आप मेरे थ्रू सुनना, आप ही मेरे थ्रू रिस्पॉन्ड करना, and let me grow to the next level where you want me to grow. Right? Clear? Is that clear? So, that is one way of strengthening my willpower. I want to strengthen my willpower. मैं आपको ऑफर करती हूँ ये एस्पिरेशन. क्या ये डिज़ायर है? That I want to strengthen my willpower, is it a desire or is it an aspiration? Yes. When I want to have a chocolate or go for a movie, that is a desire. But when I want to grow within my being, when I want to become close to the divine, it becomes an aspiration. So, that personal transformation project that you have in grade 8, that is basically for this, so that you are able to consciously transform some aspect of your emotional vital being. Fourth question, am I consciously refining my artistic taste and sense of beauty and design? See, it is to bring about more and more refinement and aesthetics to your sensibilities that Jaipuria school offers so many hobbies, clubs, so many forms of dancing, singing, art, craft. The list is long. But basically, why are they offered to you? So that you refine your taste. Your aesthetics, your sensibilities should be refined. Even boys are made to dance here. Boys, are you okay with that? Yes, because dancing refines our sensibilities, makes us more and more subtle, right? Does dance, singing, poetry writing, art interest me? If it's a yes, give yourself a 1. If it's a no, give yourself a 0. Next question. Now the very important question. Am I methodically so cultivating my senses that any sense of vulgarity will not be accepted in my surroundings? Any sense of vulgarity. Sometimes in our WhatsApp we get videos where there's vulgarity. Vulgarity can also be in cruelty. Do I enjoy watching it? Or do I immediately delete it? Or do I not only enjoy watching it but also forward it to 100 places? Then I'm enjoying vulgarity. It should not appeal to me. Should not want to see it. I should just delete it right away and definitely not pass it on. Right? And similarly, vulgarity in my surroundings. It's very important to be conscious. So, our parents and most schools are systematically working on refining our vital being, our emotional being. So, in the field of our vital, there are many things that we need to look at very consciously, very carefully. A much larger effort is needed in the purification of the vital. Because in our vital being, harmony, love, wideness, truth, sweetness, compassion must flow spontaneously. Spontaneously. This is the work of the goddess of harmony. Now, next slide. I am a mental being. Abhi tak what all were we? Say with me. I am a physical being. I am a vital emotional being. I am a mental being. You know, there's a world famous philosopher. His name is Descartes. And he said, Cogito ergo sum. What does it mean? He said, I think, therefore I am. Mane, the proof that I am is that I am able to think. I don't know how right he was or not. That we are also a mental being is undeniable. Can anybody deny that you are a mental being? Anybody who says, nahi, I am not a mental being. Nahi, na? Of all lines of education, mental education is most widely practiced in all schools, but only academic education. And only academic education, can it lead to the full development of our mind? Can it lead to, I'm not talking of the physical, I'm not talking of vital. Even mental, खाली पढ़ाई कर लेने से आपका माइंड डेवलप होगा क्या? कुछ और है माइंड में, which also must be addressed by schools. It is very important. So what does true mental education consist of? I hope you all are ready for your next assessment, dear students and teachers. Now think about it clearly. First question, am I developing my power of concentration, my capacity of attention? Am I consciously working on gradually increasing my concentration, my focus, my attention span? See, in our school, before every period, 4 times in a day, 2 minutes every time, so 8 minutes a day, you are practicing silence. If in that silence, you consciously start collecting your whole being and learning to be silent, your concentration power will rapidly increase. Right? So, today, nowadays, how many children have ADHD? How many students have heard the name ADHD? Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Do we want to have ADHD? No. When we have it, it becomes very difficult to concentrate on anything. So, we need to make sure that we are using lesser and lesser of our mobiles, internet, video games. What a waste of time. When we play video games, what happens? Does any part of your mental being grow? You're pressing buttons. This is moving here, this is moving there. What has grown in you? When you see all those web series that people are watching nowadays, what is happening? The mind has become passive. It's just watching what a movie maker has made. Is there any growth? And how much time has been wasted? How much time which could be used for your concentration, for your focus, for your growth has been wasted because you've seen a web series and you can tell your friends, I've seen that. And they say, no, I've seen that, you see that. Please, people will make movies because it's part of their job to make movies. But is it part of our job to make them grow, or is it part of our job to make ourselves grow? The answers are very weak. There's no sound. Yeah, this is the kind of sound I want to hear. So, second question. Am I developing my capacity of expansion and critical thinking? Now, can anybody tell me what is critical thinking? Capacity of expansion?
Ma'am, it is thinking outside the box
Very,
and
very
thinking
beautiful.
something new.
Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
Actually, I have something like a different point of view. That, ma'am, isn't it, ma'am, what we think in a particular situation?
What you're thinking in a particular situation, you're thinking all the time. So what's that?
Ma'am, I mean to say that, ma'am, isn't critical thinking mean brainstorming? Like we are stuck in some situation and we are just is it good or bad that what we are thinking to get out of that situation?
Yeah, so you're critically thinking
Yes, ma'am.
that this is a situation and I need to walk my way out of it, and this is one suggestion, this is another thing, and I'm thinking out of the box, right? Actually, critical thinking can also be that there are people who like to remain in their own echo chambers. I think like this, and this is my belief, and whatever anybody else is saying makes no sense to me. So that's an echo chamber. It's not good for us. We need to be able to listen to other people. So Sri Aurobindo talks about it. He says, you have a thesis, somebody else has an antithesis. Listen to the antithesis, bring it together with your thesis, and then make a synthesis of it. Right? Synthesize thoughts and make a synthesis of it that will help you to grow out of your own echo chamber. Right? So, am I doing this? If I am doing this, take a 1. If I am not doing this, take a 0. Third question, am I able to organize my ideas around a higher ideal? Does any child have anything to say about this?
Ma'am, my name is Arnav Gupta and my class is 7D. Ma'am, I think this means that when we have a normal idea, like if we have an idea to create a website with the use of HTML, we create a website, but now we think we should add something. So we add new background color, new animation, so we can make the website much better for the people that we are making them. And this will also make our website do better in front of people. So I think this is what this question means.
Okay.
Ma'am, I'm Samarveer Singh from class 7G, and ma'am, according to this question, ma'am, I think it means that, ma'am, ma'am, when we were in 6th, ma'am, we got a chance to write our own book on, ma'am, rebooks. So, ma'am, before writing a book, ma'am, we have an idea, ma'am, a topic on which we have to write the book. So, ma'am, when we publish that book, so, ma'am, ma'am, it is now, ma'am, in an higher ideal.
It's a higher ideal. Okay. Because, why is it a higher ideal? Because you're not thinking only of yourself, but you're thinking that by my book, when it is published, when others read it, it will help them to grow. Then it becomes a higher ideal.
Yes.
If I'm publishing the book, that I'm able to make money out of it, it's not a higher ideal.
Yes.
But if that's going to help somebody else, then it's a higher ideal. Whenever I'm doing something, if I'm doing it by way of which I am able to grow closer to the divine within me, then it's a higher ideal you've placed before you.
Yes.
Right? When you're looking after your physical body, we talked about the physical body, consciously making our physical body fitter and fitter. So one reason is that I am doing it, so my physical body is better. The other reason could be that I am doing it so that the divine's will, what God wants me to do on the earth, will be done better through me if my physical body is fitter. So there you've got a higher ideal for making your physical body fitter and fitter. The higher ideal is when we grow out of ourselves and do some good for everybody, or we are trying to become closer to the divine, or we are trying to make others closer to the divine. It becomes a higher ideal, right?
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm Arjun Singh from class 8A. Ma'am, I think that to build something out of smaller parts is a higher ideal.
To build something out of smaller parts.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, would you like to explain that?
Ma'am, for example, if we are able to have cohesive thoughts on it basically depends on how we can organize our ideas, etc.
Very nice, that we should be able to organize our ideas, and we should organize them towards a higher ideal. अपने aim को और बड़ा करो, right? Because this, if you start organizing your ideas, keeping a higher ideal in your mind, it will become a lifelong guide in your journey, right? Next, am I able to control and reject undesirable thoughts? Oh, this is very important. This is a very important point, and we'll take 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes over it. एकदम से कोई खराब थॉट आती है ना? A bad thought comes to us. एकदम से एक bad thought आती है अपने मन में, negative thought आती है अपने मन में, आती है ना? और फिर हम उस थॉट के अंदर घुस जाते हैं. फिर वो थॉट अंदर ही अंदर अपनी मशीन चलाती रहती है. तो am I able to control that? Do you want to know how to control that? Does anybody here know how to control that? Yeah, why do undesirable thoughts come to us? हमारे ज़माने में रेडियो होता था. I don't think that you all play the radio ever. But in a radio, what happens? The radio, if you tune it to medium wave, you're able to hear TV. Chalo, let's look at the TV. When you switch on Disney Hotstar, it picks up the Disney Hotstar movies and starts showing you. If you switch on to the news, the DD News will come. But where is DD News? Where is Disney Hotstar? Where is Sony Live? Where is it? It's all around us, right? Everywhere. It's not that I can see Disney Hotstar on the second floor, but for Sony Live, I'll have to go to the first floor. Is that true? All of it is all around us. Similarly, good thoughts, bad thoughts, ugly thoughts, divine thoughts, they're all over. And our mind is like a TV. I'm not saying radio because you guys are the TV generation. Our minds are like TVs. So, wherever the mind is tuned, it will pick up that frequency. And it will pick up all that those people of that thought are thinking. Or have thought earlier, because they've left it in the vibrations of the world. Right? So if I'm connected to consciously transforming myself. And all the time I'm thinking, how can I consciously transform? How can I become a better person than I am? Then all the thoughts about becoming better person than you are, you will tune into that, and those thoughts will come to you, and you will consciously keep on transforming yourself. Right? So, why do bad thoughts come? Because I have tuned myself to bad thoughts. And that is why I am catching all the bad frequency. Right? So, that is why it is very important to keep on connecting. And we'll just, after this, tell you where to connect, who to connect to all the time. Right? If you are optimistic ideas will flow into us. If you are pessimistic ideas will flow into us. If you are of a rebellious nature, rebellious ideas will be caught from the atmosphere. But all this changes once we have decided to progress. And if we have entered the path of yoga, because then a new factor intervenes. When you enter into the path of yoga, what is yoga? Who would like to tell me what is yoga?
Ma'am, yoga means to spiritually connect to the God or the divine. Ma'am, in today's time, ma'am, many children think that it's an exercise. But ma'am, there are many things apart from exercise. It tells how to be fit. Ma'am, the Surya Namaskar. Ma'am, the Surya Namaskar really helps us to connect with the divine and connect with the Surya God. Ma'am, so it's not only exercise, but it's also how to connect to the divine.
Beautiful. Yoga comes from the word yuj. Yuj means to unite. The yug is the dhatu. Like in the English word yoke. Yoke the chariots to the horses. Right? To join. So when we join with the highest, that is yoga. And when we use the body to join with the highest, then it is called Hatha Yoga. When we use our emotions to join with the divine, then it is called Bhakti Yoga. When we use the instrument of the mind to join with the divine, it is called Gyan Yoga. Right? So yoga means to unite. Very beautifully said. Thank you, my dear. So, when we go on the path of yoga, we will find that many difficulties will come on the way. Many resistances will come on the way. But I've decided that I'm not going to have sugar for the next 1 month. Now, something or the other will happen that Promini ma'am will get the best dessert that I love the most at lunchtime. Now that's a resistance. Because I'll see that dessert and man to chalega. Now, how much I'm able to control myself and not have it, then when I become stronger, then this talks about the willpower. We talked about increasing our willpower, in the mental conscious transformation. So then all these resistances will keep coming in our life when we enter the path of yoga. And we have to consciously build our being, consciously transform our being, and then the resistances will disappear. What we have to do is to be sincere in our decision to ascend. We must be able to discern between the right and the wrong, and we must strengthen our willpower. Am I developing mental silence, perfect calm? This is very important, and that is why our school is doing the moments of silence before every class or 4 times a day. This is the most important aspect of our being. I am the psychic being, right? Deep within my heart cavity is seated my soul, my higher self, my true being, the real me. See, this is my true being. All religions accept the presence of the soul, the psychic being. Islam calls it Ruh. Christianity calls it soul. Hinduism calls it Atma. But all religions accept the presence. Now, who was I in the last life? I am not sure. I was not this Anjali. I am sure I was not this Anjali, born to the same parents, looking after Jaipuria school. Not at all. Who will I be in the next life? I don't know. But I was there in the last life. I will be in my next life. Who is it who's continuing? The soul is continuing. So who am I? Who am I? Am I the clothes that I wear? In the evening I will change it. So I can't be this blue sari. I am somebody else. So we must be able to recognize that. Why is the movement going on? So we must be able to recognize who we are. So let us mark ourselves. You have the assessment. Does this question ever bother me? Who am I? If it bothers you, give yourself a 1. If it doesn't bother you, give yourself a 0. Second question, what is the purpose of my birth? Does this question ever bother you? Why am I here? I'm here, I'm born, I'll go to school, I'll go to college, I'll do a job, I'll get married, I'll die. Is there a higher purpose of my birth? What could be the higher purpose of my birth? So, these questions, if they bother you, give yourself a 1. If they don't bother you, give yourself a 0. If you want to say, maybe, I want to think about it, then give yourself a question mark and go back to it. Think about it. Third question, how can I fulfill God's will on earth? Every moment, every split moment, God has a will. The divine has a will for each one of us. The will He has for me is different from the will He has for you. The will He has for Saransh, it's different. At every moment it's different. So am I thinking about it? Am I connecting to the divine? Every moment, what is thy will? Let thy will be done on earth through me. Am I becoming that perfect instrument? To become that perfect instrument, this physical being has to be perfect, has to be healthy. This vital being has to be vast. I can't just think me, me, me. The vital being has to expand. The mind has to become calm, silent. There has to be clarity in the mind. And the psychic being has to be alive and awake. And we have to be connected to the psychic being. Right? Then we will be able to fulfill His will on earth. Fourth question, do I try to connect with my own true higher being? Remember the question that we said? कि किसको ऑफर करें? मंदिर भाग भाग के जाएं? घर में पूजा में भाग भाग के जाएं? ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. क्यों? क्यों? कौन बताएगा क्यों? Yes, God is within us. And it takes 2 seconds. We can close our eyes and offer. We can keep our eyes open and offer. But keep offering. When we make a friend, what do? We take their telephone number, right? And then we send them an SMS. And then we send them another forward. Then we try to invite them, let's come on, let's go for a movie today. Or come over for a dinner or lunch at home. Because we try to connect. So if we want to make our own highest being a friend, what do we have to do? To keep remembering and offering. Whatever I'm doing, I offer. Right? So when you keep offering, you keep connecting. and then he becomes your best friend. Right? Do go back to your questionnaire at night before sleeping. Right? Next slide. If I am the soul in a physical journey, then why does my education not include a psychic component? The psychic being is right here within me. But why does my education not include this component? Why don't majority schools talk about the psychic component? It is a most important aspect of our being. So it should be the most important part of education. The aim of the spiritual retreat is basically to take our Jaipurian students on this voyage of exploration, where we will explore the different facets of spirituality together. Right? Now I'll just go through the next one fast because I don't want to leave it. I am a physical being. I am a vital being. I am a mental being. I am a psychic being. And I am a spiritual being. Next slide, ma'am. I am a spiritual being. Next slide. You see, Sri Aurobindo has described that there are higher and higher ranges of mind. This mind is not all there is. There is the higher mind, then above that there is the illumined mind, above that is the intuitive mind, above that is the overmind, and then there is a golden lid. And above that is the supermind. And all these higher levels of mind have been called rivers in the Vedas. Why rivers? Because rivers flow downwards. From the mountains they flow downwards until they merge in the sea. So these rivers, these higher minds flow downwards, and if we are open, then these rivers will flow into us. All these higher levels of mind will flow into us. And these rivers are called in the Vedas Ila, Saraswati, Sarama, Mahati or Bharati, Daksha. I'm just dropping these names for you so that a seed has been planted. Think about it later. Next slide. May each one of my Jaipurian students discover your own technology, your own unique path, so that you may discover yourself, discover each plane and part of your being, and transform each plane and part of your being consciously. All our past spiritual retreats have had two mottos, and we are going to keep this tradition alive. Let us read these together. If you only do what you can do, you'll never be better than you are. Kung Fu Panda, Master Shifu. Arise, transcend thyself, thou art man, and the whole nature of man is to become more than himself. Sri Aurobindo. Thank you. So let us just 1 minute of silence, and in that silence we offer to God and we say, God, whatever I've heard today, please help me to assimilate in my being.